The ignition switch is a critical component in your vehicle's starting system. It may seem small, but when it malfunctions, it can cause a range of problems that could leave you stranded. Today, we're going to look at the symptoms of a bad ignition switch so you know what to look out for and how to deal with it. Symptom 1. Delayed start. The first and most obvious symptom of a bad ignition switch is when your car won't start or there's a delayed response when turning the key. If you turn the key and notice that the dashboard lights flicker or the car cranks slowly before it starts, this could be due to worn internal contacts in the ignition switch. Symptom 2. Stalling while driving. Imagine driving down the road and suddenly your engine cuts off without warning. A bad ignition switch can cause intermittent power loss to the engine, leading to stalling while driving. This can happen because the ignition switch isn't maintaining a consistent electrical connection. Symptom 3. Issues with electrical accessories. Another telltale sign of a failing ignition switch is problems with your vehicle's electrical accessories. If you notice the radio, lights, or air conditioning flickering or not working properly when you turn the key, the ignition switch may be to blame. The ignition switch is responsible for sending power to these systems. If it's failing, the accessories may lose power or behave erratically. Pay attention to these signs because they often appear before more serious problems with starting or stalling. Symptom 4. Key won't turn or get stuck. Having trouble turning the key or removing it from the ignition can also indicate a faulty ignition switch. Over time, the switch can wear out internally, causing it to stick or become difficult to turn. Symptom 5. No noise from the starter motor. Another indicator of a bad ignition switch is the complete absence of any sound from the starter motor when you turn the key. Normally, you'd hear a clicking or cranking sound when the engine is starting. But if the ignition switch fails completely, you may not hear anything at all. Causes of a bad ignition switch. So, what causes an ignition switch to fail? Over time, wear and tear from repeated use can degrade the electrical contacts within the switch. Other causes include dirt and debris entering the switch or a manufacturing defect. If your car is older or has high mileage, the ignition switch is more likely to develop issues due to aging components. Additionally, exposure to moisture and other contaminants can accelerate the deterioration of the switch.